Well, hello there. Welcome to my home. Today, I have been really craving foods from the wintertime since it has been getting so warm. The food that I've been craving the most is soup. So today, I'm going to make a soup that contains both lentils and kale. Those are two foods that I enjoy very much, and they're very nutrient dense. Lentils, on one hand, have a lot of soluble fiber, which is great at aiding digestion. Kale contains many vitamins and minerals, including vitamin C and K. So follow me as we make this soup. So here are the ingredients you will need to make this soup. 1/4 cup of olive oil, 2 cups of water, 4 cups or 32 ounces of broth. I'm using chicken broth, but you may use vegetable broth instead. 1 cup of kale. I took the spiny parts out and I massaged it briefly. 4 garlic cloves, either a cup of brown or green lentils. I'm using green lentils today, and I made sure to sort them just to take out any rocks and unsightly bits. The juice of a medium lemon, 2 carrots peeled and chopped, 1 medium yellow onion diced, a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. And for the spices, we are using 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of curry powder, some black pepper, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of dried thyme. I've decided to use a Dutch oven. This is what I normally use to make my soups. I'm going to add all the oil to it, and I have been preheating this oven just so it can kind of heat up. Now we see it's getting hot. We are going to add the onions to it, as well as our carrots. Now I am using the spatula just to cook the onions and carrots down for about 5 minutes, just to get them translucent and brown slightly. The amount of oil may seem like a lot, however, it is going to add some nice fat and a heartier taste to the soup. One thing to note when cooking with olive oil is to make sure your heat isn't too high. Since extra virgin olive oil tends to have a low smoke point, you want to make sure that you don't end up burning it. This could add carcinogens to your food, which is definitely not healthy, and it just smells and tastes very terrible. Stirring your vegetables often when you're cooking with olive oil will also help to reduce the likelihood of your food burning. All right, now that this has cooked down for about 5 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and add my garlic and my spices. I'll first add my spices, and then I'll add the garlic off camera just because it'll be kind of difficult to get it out of this. Personal tip, but you can buy pre-chopped garlic from the grocery store. However, I do recommend just buying a bulb of garlic, chopping it up yourself. You can use a garlic mincer. That will cut down cooking time significantly, or prep time. And then on top of that, if you're worried about the smell sticking to your hands, you can take any stainless steel cookware like these teaspoons, just rub it on your hands under cold water, and that will get the smell off. Also, if you don't happen to have a Dutch oven at home, I got mine from Aldi's for about $30. I use it all the time. I make soups pretty frequently. I would say about once a week, and it really comes in handy. Super easy to clean. It's made out of cast iron. A very popular brand of cast iron Dutch ovens is Le Creuset, but they're very expensive. This is just the Crofton brand, and it's super affordable and should last your entire lifetime. All right, I have just added those 2 cups of water. Now I'm going to pour the chicken broth in. It may seem like a lot, but it's definitely going to cook down, especially with these lentils. The variety of lentils, either brown or green, tend to absorb liquid very easily. If you ever do cook with red lentils, just be aware they do turn mushy and cook faster, and they don't absorb nearly as much liquid. Just keep that in mind. Brown and green lentils are interchangeable in recipes, but red lentils are not interchangeable for either of those. So we're just gonna pour these green lentils in, and then we're gonna stir it. All right, so this has reached a rolling boil. I have been stirring it frequently. We're going to reduce the heat, and then we're going to partially cover it. So I'm reducing my heat from high to a low medium. So once that rolling boil has been achieved, you want it to go back down to a simmer. if it is consistently at a rolling boil, your heat is too high and you're going to want to turn it even lower than medium to low, depending on your stovetop. And then if it isn't simmering anymore, you need to turn the heat back up. So just keep an eye on it and stir as needed. All right, my soup has been cooking for about 30 minutes. I'm going to remove the lid and add my greens. Make sure you stir the greens in. Let them cook for about 5 minutes or until they get softer. If you're using something like spinach, they would not need that much time, but kale is a heartier, more cruciferous vegetable, so it's gonna need more time. The lid also does not need to be put back on. Just let the greens cook down to your liking. So I added the lemon juice. I ended up only adding about half the juice of that lemon just because it was a very juicy lemon. Now that it is all incorporated, I have decided not to blend the lentils. That is an option. Before you add the kale, you can blend the lentils. However, it is still pretty soupy and I'd rather just keep it that way. I don't really want to thicken it anymore. But anyway, here's the final soup. Here it is in all of its glory. It looks super tasty. And here is a bowl of the soup in its final glory. You have the option of serving it with some crusty bread. You may top it with some cheese if desired, or nutritional yeast if you are vegan. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Have an amazing day.